Woods wakes up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat. He can't sleep. He hasn't had a good night's sleep in 26 years. Every night when he opens his eyes, he wonders whether it was all a bad dream.
Worry about her, what happened, what she went through.
The murder of his 13-year-old daughter, Teresa, haunts him.
She went to school that day and then she disappeared on the way home from school.
Every day, Teresa Woods would walk from her school here at Collins Middle to her mom and stepdad's patient transport company across the street. But then one day, she disappeared. It was February 20th, 1986. When Woods didn't show up after school that day, her mother began looking for her. She called Teresa's father, Donald. He knew instantly something was wrong.
Wouldn't have got in a car with nobody she didn't know or anything like that. No way.
The last time he saw his daughter, he says she was staying with he and his wife, Kathy, in Powelton, where Teresa spent most of her weekends. This weekend, he says, was different. Teresa seemed scared, frightened.
She was upset. She didn't want to go back home. Back to Oak Hill for some reason.
He says she knew she would be in trouble when she returned to Oak Hill. What she didn't know was she would die. Do you think it's someone she knew?
Yes.
Why do you think that?
She wouldn't have got in a car and brought a daylight. I can't see nobody abducting her, forcing her into a car.
For months, state police, the Fayette County Sheriff's Department, and Sheriff Steve Kessler, then a deputy at the time, retraced Teresa's every step, following every lead and working around the clock to find her.
People call and say, well, I think I saw her here, and things like those were followed up. Either misidentification of a person or it wasn't her.
Then, in June, a break.
Her remains were discovered in Law Creek, in a wooded area and around the creek, and identification was made at that time.
But that's where the trail turned cold. For the next 26 years, deputies and state police investigated several persons of interest, but to no end. There was never enough concrete evidence to make a conviction.
The state police did about everything I think they possibly could have done, and so did we at that particular time. So we're back to where we were then, about the same answers we had then, which was none.
Teresa's disappearance rocked the community and devastated her father. Teresa Woods was buried that June at a Glasgow cemetery overlooking the Kanawha River. The next day, Woods says he bought both cemetery plots beside her. If you could say one last thing to your daughter, what would it be?
That I love her.
You think about her all the time?
Yes.
Reporting in Fayette County, I'm Annie Moore.